On Thursday, the 5th of June, the Resistance Kitchen joined several community groups, including Disabled Against Cuts and Croydon Trade Union Congress, to protest outside the Croydon Labour Party fundraising gala dinner at the Grand Sapphire banquet hall in Purley Way. Fearing a protest, the Labour Party had kept the location secret, even from attendees, until a couple of hours before. So it was a very last-minute mobilisation. The local Labour Party had invited the infamous Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, Wes Streeting, as their guest of honour. Wes Streeting has championed Starmer's policy of privatising parts of the NHS. It was revealed that he has accepted around £175,000 from donors linked to private healthcare firms. The question that is asked is, who is he actually working for?
Streeting announced cuts to talking therapies in the NHS, palliative care, young persons diabetic services, while he's taking money from private providers. And he agrees with disability benefit cuts.
Streeting also supports proposed Labour disability cuts, stating that mental health conditions are overdiagnosed and benefits need to be cut. He ignores the underlying reasons for the rise of mental health problems like poverty, low-paid and insecure work, and systemic racism. Our last survey of our guests at Resistance Kitchen revealed that 1 in 5 of them are dependent on disability benefits for survival. The benefits are already so inadequate that they can't afford food and need to come to food banks like ours. Every week we see people in wheelchairs and crutches queuing 2 hours before we open, in all weathers, just for food. What will happen if those inadequate disability benefits are further cut? Amnesty UK calls the proposed welfare cuts a violation of human rights. It says, abandoning some of the most vulnerable in our society cannot be a solution to prop up the economy. Surely the priorities should always be to house, feed and clothe people, and make sure they have what they need to survive. The government has the choice to end poverty, but today they have made the political choice to worsen it.
So I'm Paula Peters, I'm here from Disabled People Against Cuts. We're outside the Grand Sapphire Hotel in Croydon, where Wes Streeting, the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, is partaking in a £55 a head dinner. We're highlighting 3 issues, and the issue that I'm here about is disability benefit cuts. We see over £9 billion that's going to be wiped off the welfare state by 2029, 2030. 1.5 million disabled people will be hit by cuts to personal independence payment, which is absolutely devastating. Freezing of universal credit payments for existing claims, and £47 a week cut for new claims from April next year. I mean, the cuts to PIP will be devastating because it will impact on passported benefits. So you will lose your health element of universal credit, you'll lose your blue badge or your bus pass, carers allowance or carers element top up on UC, and the loss of carers allowance will impact on 150,000 carers, and these cuts will plunge 50,000 children into poverty.
It has been revealed by Declassified that Wes Streeting has a long history of supporting Israel, going back to his days at the National Union of Students, and has been rewarded handsomely for it. During genocide, he has taken £20,000 from Israel lobbyists. With Israel's systematic targeting of hospitals, the plight of Gaza has resonated in the NHS. In an attempt to silence this support, Streeting has called for disciplinary action against NHS workers over their views on Gaza. The Labour government approved $169 million worth of military equipment to Israel in the 3 months that followed its so-called partial suspension of arms exports, admitting they would be used to commit war crimes in Gaza. The 3-month total is more than what was approved altogether under the Tory government between 2020 And 2023.
He's part of the government which is arming Israel still, and the RAF is being directed to use flights for surveillance to help the Israeli government in its genocide. So that's the situation in Gaza is a nightmare. And children are being killed by the dozen every day. We have to get the Labour government to cut off the arms supplies to Israel, to recognise the state of Palestine, and to impose sanctions on Israel.
Croydon Labour is also directly implicated in the genocide taking place in Gaza. Freedom of Information requests have revealed it has invested over £120 million from the pension fund in companies complicit in genocide. This includes Israel's largest weapons producer Elbit Systems, which boasts of being the backbone of the Israeli occupation forces in Gaza. It advertises its weapons as having been battle-tested on Palestinians. It has to be said that many of those going inside were sympathetic to the protest and came out to talk to us. Also, whilst the Grand Sapphire was hosting the Labour fundraiser, they made it very clear whose side they were on. They even brought out hot cups of coffee for the protesters. Labour culpability in genocide and austerity has made it such a toxic brand that even venues who are being paid to host them want to distance themselves, in case the toxicity sticks to them. But in the face of the genocide of our time, these overtures are really no longer good enough. Paraphrasing Martin Luther King, in the end, we will remember not the words, actions of our enemies, but the silence, inaction of our friends.